I think the best way to introduce this book is to give you a little taste of the introduction. So, short version, here's a collection of previously published pieces culled from the last decade or so. Longer version, I've always been writing. Before I figured out, learning as I went, how to do it with some degree of competence for an actual audience, however modest, I was struggling to integrate my discipline for fiction writing and my lifelong passion for celebrating things that moved me. Most of these early attempts, which I sardonically refer to as love letters to nobody, are contained in the various journals I kept starting in grade school. I'm not inclined to revisit these journals very often, hopefully for all the right reasons, but I'm certain that one theme resurfaces, equal parts aspiration and mission statement. Immerse myself as much as possible in art and express why it inspires me and why it matters. I suspect just about any critic or commentator has a similar backstory. It's a deeply personal impulse, but the desire to share or advocate is kind of a quid pro quo. For any happy, hopeless soul who gets emotional about the books, movies, and music they venerate, it seems a measured appraisal is the least we can do for these kindred spirits and would-be allies who expand and occasionally save our lives. If I bring anything to the table, it's incorporating that graduate school preoccupation with historical perspective and context and sincere ardor of a fan. I couldn't and wouldn't spend my adult life running blindly down the rabbit hole of academia, agonizing over topics most people couldn't care less about. My goal became combining criticism and advocacy, covering my world in writing. Personal essays were not foreign territory, but a sustained examination of life and how it's lived, including death and how to live through it when it rocks your world, turns out to be the best real-time training for getting one's mind and pen around an unfettered attempt to make sense out of profoundly personal things. It not only seems possible, but oddly appropriate to embrace the audacity of putting it out there, so to speak. Best intentions clash against execution, and at a certain point, it's out of your hands. Other people will determine if the work in question works. It's at once intimidating and liberating, the way it should be for anyone who puts words on paper. While constructing most of these pieces, I had one distinct objective: write only about things I cared about, and hopefully in the service of both readers and myself, try to do a subject justice. That simple, that impossible. But what does that mean? For me, in a few thousand words or less, make a case, render a verdict, or interrogate an issue that, once written, can withstand time, trends, and repeated viewings. Any honest writer who hopes their work will resonate must respect in advance anyone who'll take the time to check them out.
Great job.